Next week on Days of Our Lives.
Order!
Welcome back to Days of Our... Today we will dive deeply into the web of secrets, betrayals, and emotional turmoil that have Salem residents reeling on Thursday, August 7th, 2025. With courtroom shocks, forbidden romances, and possible resurrections, this episode promises fireworks at every turn. Let's start with the sudden spotlight on Alex Kyriakis. The usually smooth-talking Alex finds himself at the center of uncomfortable scrutiny when Steve Johnson uncovers unsettling details from Alex's past. Steve, playing detective, digs into old Kyriakis' family scandals and uncovers that Alex was once arrested for deeds he'd hoped were long forgotten. While it's brushed off by some as youthful mistakes, Steve isn't so easily convinced and insists on getting the unfiltered truth directly from Alex. What started as a hushed whisper of indiscretion soon snowballs into a tense confession, with Alex finally admitting to misdeeds that threatened to disrupt his reputation and relationships, especially with Stephanie, who now faces the painful realization that the man she trusted has kept dark secrets. The possibility of more damaging revelations lingers, casting a shadow over Alex's attempts to move forward. Meanwhile, the Salem Inn becomes a secret haven for passionate liaisons and risky choices, as Belle Black and E.J. DiMera rendezvous away from prying eyes. Tensions from the courtroom spill over into their private world, where the two kindle a romance that's as complicated as their legal positions. Belle, the conflicted prosecutor, and E.J., the crafty defense attorney and the father of the accused. Though their chemistry is unmistakable, a storm brews beneath the surface. Belle's career is teetering on the edge. Failure to prosecute effectively could see her disbarred, making every decision perilous. E.J., ever the strategist, risks their bond by exposing Belle's conflict of interest in open court and demanding a retrial, a move that shocks everyone, including Belle herself. This explosive maneuver isn't just courtroom theatrics. It's a calculated risk in E.J.'s escalating plan to save his son, Johnny, no matter the personal cost. The betrayal lands like a sledgehammer on Belle, threatening to unravel their precarious relationship. Speaking of Johnny DiMera, he stands on the front line of Salem's latest high-profile trial, with his fate hanging in the balance. The mounting psychological strain presses hard on Johnny as he prepares to take the stand. He finds solace and unwavering encouragement from Chanel Dupree DiMera, who helps him shore up the resolve to face tough questions in the witness box. Johnny's fear is palpable. Not only is he frightened by the severity of the charges, but the uncertainty of whether his father's schemes will actually shield him from prison gnaws at him. As the gavel falls and the questioning heats up, Johnny holds fast to his innocence and hopes that truth, not twisted theatrics, will win out in the end. The DiMera mansion, as ever, simmers with intrigue of its own. Anna bursts in with electrifying news. Susan Banks is fanning rumors that the late Stefano DiMera might still be alive. While most would laugh off such tales as superstition, Tony DiMera's response is more ambiguous. Outwardly dismissive, Tony internally weighs the possibility. After all, in Salem, death is rarely the end. Tony's attention remains sharply fixed on the welfare of the DiMera legacy, and his actions suggest he may know more than he reveals. The possibility of a Stefano return could upend carefully laid plans, and Anna's suspicions add a delicious layer of tension to the family drama. In another corner of Salem, Gabby Hernandez finds herself unburdening her heart to Xander Cook following her turn as a witness in the volatile courtroom proceedings. What starts as casual commiseration transforms into much more. A dinner that escalates into a passionate connection. Gabby deftly uses her budding bond with Xander as a strategic maneuver in an ongoing struggle for power within Titan Industries. She senses that pulling Xander into her orbit could help tip the scales of corporate warfare in her favor. Xander, oblivious to the full extent of Gabby's machinations, eagerly responds to her attention, setting the stage for a partnership that is equal parts seduction and alliance. These unfolding events are set against a broader backdrop of uncertainty and ambition. Tony and Anna raise a toast beneath the imposing portrait of Stefano, plotting to restore DiMera dominance and reclaim the family's fortune from the Kyriakis' grip. EJ, for his part, remains conflicted, torn between his Machiavellian drive to protect Johnny and his desire to rebuild himself as a better man for Belle. The past is never truly buried in Salem. Old crimes, unresolved betrayals, and whispered rumors are forever on the verge of exploding into daylight, threatening every carefully constructed alliance. On this action-packed day in Salem, secrets won't stay hidden, passions can't be curbed, and the future of many beloved characters hangs in the balance. Whether it's courtroom showdowns, rekindled romances, or the haunting possibility of long-dead figures returning, Thursday's episode delivers drama at every turn, leaving fans questioning whom to trust and what's really true. Stay tuned right here as we peel back the layers of Salem's most gripping stories and bring you the revelations you won't want to miss. Next, Salem on Wednesday, August 6, 2025. From secret deals and suppressed emotions to legal battles and soul-searching decisions, this episode delivered a cocktail of drama that promises to leave fans on the edge of their seats. Tate's inner storm, haunted by the past, questioning the future as the episode unfolds. Tate is a young man teetering between youthful innocence and the weight of adult responsibility. Haunted by the memory of the baby he once held close and believed he could protect forever, his mind spirals when he learns something new from Rachel. The gift she's bought for the baby reignites all his emotions: joy, confusion, loss, and guilt, like a tidal wave crashing into his chest. Desperate to get the baby's current address from the adoptive family, Tate reaches out to Sophia, hoping she can provide the information. But his hope is met with hesitation. Sophia doesn't have the address at hand, and while her heart aches to help him, her hands are tied. She promises to get in touch with her lawyer and find a way. But the tension in her voice is clear. This is more than just a matter of logistics. This is about secrets buried and truths yet to be revealed. Melinda Trask's mysterious absence and calculated comeback in the cold and sterile confines of Melinda Trask's office, now cluttered with moving boxes and the scent of transition. Sophia arrives with urgency, only to find the district attorney nowhere to be seen. The silence is deafening. The ticking of the clock echoes like a warning, a reminder that time is running out. Finally, Melinda breezes in, as sharp and unfazed as ever. Without missing a beat, Sophia dives into her concerns about Sarah, her personal doctor, who has been acting suspiciously. Sophia suspects Sarah knows the truth about the baby's origins and fears she might reveal everything. But Melinda, ever the seasoned strategist, waves it off. Sarah's hands are legally bound by HIPAA regulations, and she assures Sophia that no unwanted truths will surface. Not yet. Still, Sophia looks crushed under the weight of the lie. Her soul is torn between protecting the baby and drowning in guilt. But Melinda, brushing aside any signs of emotion, gives her a cold slice of legal wisdom. Just breathe. I'll handle it. The baby smuggling scheme, as risky as it is, rests safely. At least for now, in Melinda's well-manicured hands. The ghost of Sammy's wrath keeps Belle away elsewhere. Tate finds comfort in a familiar face. Aunt Belle, who has been noticeably absent from the Marlena household ever since Sammy Brady's explosive visit. Sammy, known for her fiery temperament and dramatic flair, was furious that Belle had no choice but to prosecute her son Johnny. Though the courts demanded it, Sammy's heart refused to forgive. And Belle? She's been hiding in the shadows, afraid of reigniting her sister's fury. As Belle sits down with Tate at the Horton Town Square, she tries to explain. Tate is confused. To him, justice should have cleared Belle's name. But Belle, seasoned in the politics of family feuds, gently reminds him that Sammy doesn't always see things rationally. She's ruled by emotion, by instinct, by a mother's blind love. Belle's voice softens, her eyes clouded with regret. But still, she says, we need to rise above. Family needs to heal, not tear itself apart. Her words strike a chord in Tate's soul. Tate's revelation. A moment of growth as Belle speaks. Tate falls silent. The sounds of the square fade into a dull hum. The world around him slows. And then clarity. In that moment, something inside Tate shifts. For weeks, he had centered his thoughts around his personal pain, the baby he loved and lost, and the justice he felt he deserved. But Belle's words plant a seed, a realization that there's a greater picture, one that involves more than just his heartache. What about Sophia? What about the adoptive parents, who are now caught in the storm of his grief? What about the baby's future, now entangled in legal webs and emotional chaos? Tate clenches his hands, standing still in the middle of the town square. He realizes that love, real love, isn't always about possession. It's about sacrifice, about making choices for the good of others, even when it rips your own heart apart. This moment of insight doesn't come with trumpets or tears. It's quiet, but it's powerful. Secrets wrapped in swaddling clothes. The baby smuggling operation meanwhile, the true web of secrets continues to thicken around Sophia and Melinda. The baby Tate aches for, the one Sophia claims is adopted through legal means, has a murky origin story that neither woman wants exposed. Behind the facade of paperwork lies a dangerous truth. The child may have been smuggled through a loophole orchestrated by Trask herself. Sophia's involvement started with desperation. She wanted to be a mother and saw no other way. Melinda, ever the fixer, offered a solution that came at a steep price. Silence, secrecy, and legal cover-ups. But now, with Sarah snooping and Tate asking questions, the foundation of their secret is beginning to crack. Worse still, Melinda's confidence may be a bluff. Sarah isn't as naive as Trask assumes. She's quietly collecting evidence, suspecting that something is deeply wrong with the adoption story. If Sarah breaks her silence, the whole scheme could implode, and everyone involved would fall with it. Rachel's role. A child's innocence unknowingly sparks chaos, and then there's Rachel. Young, sweet, and entirely unaware of the chaos her simple gift has sparked. Her decision to buy a gift for the baby wasn't just sweet, it was symbolic. Rachel still believes the baby is part of their lives, and her gesture is a quiet rebellion against the truth being forced upon her. In a world full of adult lies, Rachel's innocent act reignites adult guilt. The gift is more than an object. It's a symbol of what was lost, of what's still unresolved. And it's this tiny gesture that sends Tate spiraling into memories and regrets, leading him back to the very heart of the storm he thought he'd escaped. A crossroads ahead. Where will the truth lead? As the episode closes, every character finds themselves at a crossroad. Tate must decide if he will continue to chase what was taken from him or rise above and let the past go. Sophia faces the unbearable truth that her motherhood came at a moral cost she may not be able to pay. Melinda Trask, cold and calculating, holds the strings of a plan that's starting to unravel in her fingers. Belle longs for family peace but knows that Sammy's wrath is not easily cooled. Sarah walks the tightrope between medical ethics and personal conscience, each step bringing her closer to uncovering the truth. And Rachel, unknowingly, is the spark in a powder keg ready to blow. Conclusion. A powder keg of secrets and sacrifices. This August 6th episode of Days of Our Lives didn't just move the plot forward. It forced the characters into deep emotional and moral conflict. Loyalties were tested, truths were buried deeper, and choices were made that could change everything. As Salem reels from these revelations, fans are left wondering, will the truth finally come out? And if it does, who will be left standing? Stay tuned, because this is only the calm before the next storm.